Hi, this is Otto. This week I did some small watercolors, some urban sketches, some different chores, and I paid a visit to Masterworks for curated conversations. I started my week doing a watercolor of a punt that was pulled up under the bushes at Riddles Bay. The main thing I was after, other than capturing this punt, was I needed it to be cool and shady. That's why it's such a strange composition. But I got something done, even though it was tricky. One morning I was hanging art which I hope to show to the public fairly soon. That afternoon I was continuing to work on a large watercolor of some small shells. This picture is a lot bigger than the actual shells, which are quite small. I was interested in the surfaces of the shells. One day I ate lunch and did a sketch in a cafe in town. So here you can see that urban sketching style pen and ink. I was hesitant to sketch in the bank, but I had such a long wait that I did this. Nobody's recognizable anyway. I put up a clothesline, so I hung some colorful shirts on it, and I did a pen and ink drawing from it. And then afterwards, later that night, I painted the shirts based on the photograph. I think I made it look colorful and bright enough. You get a sense of bright sunshine, I hope. The next day I did what you might call urban sketching in watercolor. I did this street scene with the umbrellas. When I started, the umbrellas actually weren't up, so I had to wait until they put the umbrellas up to capture the scene the way that I wanted to catch it. I thought I had left enough space to get the umbrellas put in nice and colorful, but I had to work with what I had already done. I did a pen and ink of these ladies' garments that had very interesting patterns and textures. You get a better look of what I did right here. I next painted this scene. It actually is a challenge painting hibiscus in front of a pink building. This actually isn't the easiest thing to paint in watercolor. I was trying to keep my colors nice and bright, and the shadows started changing. I started showing the shadowed areas and trying to get the real shape of that tree, and it was quite a challenge. This is the place where you saw me hanging some art earlier. I should be able to start possibly doing lessons or critiques or some sort of art talks or some type of art activity soon, and here you can see the painting again. I went to Masterworks for curated conversations with Dr. Sara Thom. It was about the exhibition Multiplicity, and she talked about studies, series, and prints. They are all in the Masterworks collection. Georgia O'Keefe and Winslow Homer are probably the most famous artists in this exhibition, but Vaughan Evans and I also have work in it. A couple of my favorite artists aren't in it. Ogden Pleissner's watercolors, mostly of St. George's, are probably my favorite pieces in the Masterworks collection. The other artist that I liked was Elliott O'Hara. Elliott O'Hara has the work that was on the cover of Masterworks' first book. This is Watercolor Lessons from Elliott O'Hara by Dr. Carl Schmalz. I did a watercolor workshop with Carl Schmalz about 45 years ago, and he's probably responsible for the standard of watercolors in Bermuda nowadays. Carl Schmalz donated a group of Elliott O'Hara watercolors to Masterworks. Here you can see him with Tom Butterfield, and this was a few years ago. Look at how young Tom looks. This book by Dr. Carl Schmalz was recommended reading when you did his watercolor workshop, and he also had us get Elliott O'Hara palette boxes. So there was a palette, space for brushes, and space for tubes of watercolor paint. So this should explain why the Elliott O'Hara works are important in Masterworks collection. I hope that you enjoyed seeing what my week was like. If you want to encourage me, then you can like, share, and comment on my work. It would be greatly appreciated. And look out for anything that I've got planned for the future. Thanks for watching. Bye.